Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Freed. I'm the CEO and co-founder of ExplORer Surgical. Really excited to be here today and see some familiar faces, and just really nice to be in person with everybody too. So ExplORer started 10 years ago at the University of Chicago Medical Center in a research lab that was studying operating room workflow and operating room efficiency, or the lack thereof, as we like to say. We all know there's a lot of variability in the OR. This isn't a new problem, and people have been using homegrown solutions for decades. Our vision is to digitize best practices and to make that information available in every case, regardless of who physically shows up. Simply having best practices available isn't enough. You need to capture data on procedures to drive continuous improvement. We've seen all of these new digital tools that have been introduced pre-op and post-op, but the actual OR and procedure suite and what happens during the case has largely been a black box, especially to the medtech companies who are supporting these procedures. We want to make intraprocedural data easy to capture and analyze so that industry and providers can work together. We all know that digital and virtual are here to stay. We saw a major inflection point in the past year that created a step change for everybody. People don't want to go back to flying around the country or flying around the globe simply to watch a case. At the end of the day, clinical specialists and physicians are people too. They like to have dinner with their spouse. They like to put their kids to bed. So people are going to be much more selective about what's done in person. Intuitive recently shared in their Q1 earnings report that 45% of their procedure observations were done remotely. And it's not just the med tech companies that are pushing this. We see surveys that are out there from senior executives in hospitals that show that they expect more virtual interactions with vendors as the most permanent change post-pandemic. Our philosophy at ExplORer is that best-in-class case support requires more than video, and our solution encompasses 3 key pillars. First, having a digital playbook to map out procedures step by step and roll by roll, and make all of that content available during the case. So no need for the nurse's little black book, no need to text your colleague about what to do. We bring all of that to you right there when you need it. Second, intraprocedural data capture. We've all seen the pen and paper clipboards that field clinical specialists use to capture data, and we're all familiar with the Salesforce dashboards that don't get filled out. We make it easy to capture that data by embedding time-stamped real-time information. Third, having HIPAA and GDPR compliant remote connectivity. In this new world, everybody can't physically be in the room, so we enable your experts to remote into procedure suites anywhere in the world with simple, off-the-shelf mobile devices. It's really the combination of these 3 pillars that provide comprehensive value to our medtech customers, and they have the ability to choose exactly how much of each feature that they need, depending on their use case. So I'll spend some time going to each of these 3 pillars with a specific customer example. First, let's talk a little bit about our digital playbook. Our workflow tool makes best practices available in the room to ensure great clinical outcomes. Our clinical operations team partners with your education team create a digital playbook. So we take the IFUs, tips and trick sheets, and have a white glove process to seamlessly build out content in our system. You can see here the visual step-by-step playbook that's customized to each role. We have the member of the med device company act as the case pilot, so when they hit next step, they drive the procedure forward for everybody as they coordinate the room. So let's walk into a short video to see Dr. Karras with ExplORer in action.
My name is Vasily Karras. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. A small history lesson on how things happen in the operating room. Traditionally, people would write small notes if you're new to the operating room or if you're training. In a knee replacement, we can have 140, 150 steps. Now with ExplORer, it's upgrading the way we do that. We can give the instructions over an app that we've developed ahead of time that has those 150, 160 steps. I think it just beats that learning curve. And in particular, when we're doing robotic technology, it's brand new to several people. It's not like changing from one implant vendor to another. It's a true paradigm shift in the operating room. So having a learning tool like ExplORer to bring all of the various steps and instruments in one place is huge.
So in addition to using our platform with ExplORer customers such as Corin, Dr. Karras has published independent research on ExplORer showing increases in both comfort and confidence of his team. As he mentioned, for robotic procedures in particular, there's a learning curve for the team, and we're thrilled to partner with companies to put best practices into the hands of new users right when it matters most during the case. So let's move on and talk a little bit more about ExplORer's data collection capabilities. The ExplORer application is customized to your use case and product to make it easy to capture all of the procedural data that you care about in real time. So we're going to walk through an example of some of the data points that one of our customers, Teleflex, uses to capture specifically for their EZ-IO training events.
I'm Christopher Ross. I'm an emergency medicine physician from the Chicagoland area. The major challenge with procedural skills training is to actually see if the participant has learned the skill set that was been taught. And that's why it was really nice when ExplORer Surgical as well as Teleflex collaborated with me to develop an assessment tool that we could really look to see whether or not those participants have acquired that skill. They get real-time feedback from the instructor as they perform the procedure at the end. They get a report card that's emailed to them that goes over their performance during the evaluation. In this report card is actually links to optimal practice and videos by, in this case, Teleflex Incorporated.
So as Dr. Ross referenced, this data helps to identify specific bottlenecks in user proficiency, and you can see a sample report shown here. So we can create customized individual report cards for every learner as they go through a procedure, but we can also take all of the data and aggregate it to share it back with a medtech company. Let's move on to our third value proposition, which has never become as important as it's become in the past year. So the ability to remotely, compliantly, and securely attend a procedure, whether you're proctoring, training, or providing ongoing case support. So we use mobile devices such as iPads that are portable, low profile, and easy to set up in the procedure room. Our software can run on hospital or LTE networks, and we can get connected in to get direct feeds of fluoro or any other imaging that's needed, as well as any external cameras or devices that are in the room. Our goal at ExplORer is to make remote support accessible, portable, scalable, and easy to use. So again, it's easiest when you see ExplORer in action. So let's move now to Dr. Gata at UPMC Harrisburg.
I'm Hemel Gata. I'm an interventional cardiologist. We all place storage space as a premium at any high-functioning cardiac program, and to have the ability of creating a virtual proctoring case observation solution that can be packaged up in a suitcase, sent all over the world. I mean, this in and of itself, the limited footprint that ExplORer Surgical brings is a big competitive advantage. I think that what this will allow us to do is really democratize access to best-in-class transcatheter aortic valve replacement, as well as a whole host of other procedures. Being able to take a physician through not just a real-time observation of a case, but putting these additional learning tools in place, the annotation, the ability of scripting a playbook for a physician to review as the case is going on, and then even afterwards. And then in addition to that, obviously having the limited footprint of just 2 iPads mounted on IV poles. I mean, this creates a really best-in-class experience for virtual proctoring and case observation moving forward.
It's important to note that ExplORer is designed to be a holistic tool that you can use at every step of your product lifecycle, from the early iterations in product design to clinical trials, training, product launches, and ongoing case support. You can have your R&D team use ExplORer in your very earliest cases, even as you're still defining what best practices and procedural steps should be. And you can also use it for mature products for teams as a reference as you're starting to work toward physician independence. As mentioned, we're confident that remote solutions are here to stay. We're seeing the largest global medtech companies investing in rolling out digital and virtual solutions and see it as the way of the future. Dr. Kuntz at Medtronic sums it up really nicely. ExplORer's comprehensive solution enables our teams to accelerate the education of best practices for our products without requiring a physical presence in the room. Thanks everybody for your time today. I know we only had a brief amount of time together, but feel free to visit our website or to email me or message me on the conference application if you'd like to set up any time. Thank you.